Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the next character redesign for Paperbound Brawlers. And as you can see here, it is the Mummy. There's no soft reveal here. You're pretty much going to see it immediately. I think at the time I was trying to go through my films or through my video saves, and I guess I did not actually record myself drawing him, but at least I managed to capture the value stage and also all the painting involved. So it was unfortunate, but at least we get a little bit of it. But this is the Mummy. Matter of fact, when I went back and I was just thinking about redesigning all the characters, the Mummy was the first one. He was the first one I wanted to attempt, and then I went to Eddie and Jasmine actually. But he's easy to design, right? He's a lot of circles and ovals, a lot of I don't know what to call these, like whimsy curves. Like, he was just so easy to put together, and he kind of just flew off the page for me. So he was really the test. Like, I really started with him and wanted to see where I could go. And so, as you can see, he's similar to some respects to his original pose, but you know, now I've got both of his hands coming forward, and his axe is a little bit bigger, a little more rugged. It has more cracks and dents and different things in there. It's kind of like barely holding itself together. And of course, I added in some chain work. There were actually quite a few characters I was starting to add like this chain idea to, but I felt like, well, if like 5 characters out of 12 have it, it's getting a little ridiculous, so I didn't pursue that. But here you'll see it, I think on the Mummy, and I think on the Minion, which comes a little bit later in the process. But that may be it. That's all I did. But he was good. I think he was a good starting point for me because of his basic shapes. He was easy to start. He's just basically a bunch of ovals and circles, and that's pretty much it for this guy. He's also very easy to paint. You know what? When it switched back to that original pose too, he's very sad. I don't know how to describe it. Just like a depressing pose. I mean, I liked it at the time, but I look back on it now, and it really could have been spruced up a bit. So, you know, we changed all that. Matter of fact, I'll put some other images up here. There's some of the original designs of the Mummy. He had a bunch, a little more menacing look. He had also a lot more armor, as you could see on there. He was one of the ones. Matter of fact, I drew this at church. I don't know what that means, but Mummy came to me while I was sitting in church. I don't remember I don't know what was going on. They were preaching on mummies or what. I have no clue. But it was one of those designs that came to me in a very weird place. But that's where his origins were. Here we are, laying down some of the bandage work, and this is all kind of two-tone stuff. I think when we started the character designs, the original ones, all the way back in 2013, that was the idea. You know, everything was going to be two-tone. That's really about it. I mean, his eyes got some color there, but for the most part, in game, just two-tone. It's one of those things where you don't have a lot of time, so you got to go with some really basic stuff. You know, it didn't feel basic, but you know, you can't go overboard. You can't have tons and tons and tons and tons of color and all this kind of stuff because the character models were really tiny. So yeah, you can see it all here. I'm flashing back and forth to the original model, going to the new model, and just kind of copying over a lot of those color profiles. He's a little bit fatter here too, I just noticed. He's a lot more rotund and circular in the middle. But you know, he's one of my favorite. Actually, when I would play Paperbound myself, I picked 2 characters, either Mummsie, which is his real name, the Mummsie or Mummy, and the Mastodon. I don't know, just something about their characters I like when they're running around the screen. I think they're just like, they're meaty characters, and they're easy to spot. But I think this is going to be wrapping up here soon. I'm just kind of putting all those last few color profiles on him. And he is from the Book of the Dead as well. There's quite a few characters from that. Like I said before, I think that's the majority of the characters come from that. It was just, I guess, an inspiring book. Inspiring ideas kind of came from it. I had a lot of freedom to do what I wanted, so that was also kind of fun. Here we go, getting some of that kind of bronze, copper, brass look. Putting all them bandages. Mummy's got nothing but bandages. And you see a lot more bandages are kind of flicking in the wind behind him too, so that gave him an interesting look. But anyway, guys, this is about to wrap up, so here it is, guys, the new look for the Mummy. Slightly new, he's just a little more rotund. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.